Welcome to Hatfield's 2017 Special Election Candidates Forum. I'm Joe LaValle, your town moderator. I always like to share a little bit about our town. The population of Hatfield is approximately 3,200 residents, and we occupy about 16 square miles. We have one of the smallest and finest independent school systems in the state, as well as some of the best farms on the East Coast. We were settled in 1661, and we follow what is called open town meeting, which is our form of governance using town rules since 1670, when our first town meeting was held just over 345 years ago. The contested positions up for this special election is for an open position on the Board of Selectmen, to complete the term being vacated by Pat Gaughan. Running for this position are Ed Jaworski and Stan Pitchko. The winner would serve along with Brian Moriarty and Jeff Boyle. Each candidate will have up to 10 minutes to make a statement. Also, there's one ballot question to vote on. That will be for an additional town hall renovation work, mostly for the benefit of the Council on Aging, under the provisions of a Proposition 2.5 override. Now, this version is a debt exclusion to cover the bond issued to fund this work, meaning once it's paid for, it disappears from taxation. The first step was in the form of an article vote at the special town meeting held in October, which passed. That was the first hurdle. This is the second and last step that is required by law to proceed. Remember that write-ins are always welcomed, allowed, and accepted. To the candidates, we thank you for your commitment and candidacy to our town government. It's your participation that makes our town operate at its best. It's most welcome and greatly appreciated. Lastly, I would like to again thank John Novak for putting this forum together when necessary.
Hi, Ed Jaworski. I'm running for a position on the Select Board. Before I begin, I would like to first thank Pat Gaughan for his many years of service to the town of Hatfield. Pat and his family are so typical of so many families in this town that have volunteered or provided services to make Hatfield a great town to live in. That point of giving back to the community was here long before I was born, and I know it'll continue long after I'm gone. Hatfield surely is a town where different people take turns wearing many different hats. I understand that the voters in town do want to have a little understanding of the background of their candidates and why they feel they're qualified for this very important position. So I will now proceed giving you a little idea of who I am and something about me. I was born and raised in Hatfield. I'm married to my wonderful wife Trish for over 30 years. I have had two sons go through the Hatfield school system. I presently have a grandson in the Hatfield school system. One of my sons is a teacher at Smith Academy, and I believe there are 5 Smith Academy graduates teaching in her school system. What a nice way to give back. I then went through Breer and then the middle school, the middle school. I do want to say thank you to those of you that worked hard to find a solution that works for that building for the town of Hatfield. Now that building will be giving back a little bit in taxes. I graduated from Smith Vocational High School in 1972. After that, I enlisted in the United States Army for 3 years. After my 3 years, I was honorably discharged and came home. At that time, I was trying to decide whether to be an electrician or get into social work. A local contractor, Buster Szymanski, gave me my first job. I've always wanted to publicly thank Buster, so Buster, thank you very much. Him and Buster and Lenny, if you notice, over the years are ensuring that the American flag flies proudly in this town, amongst other things. Again, so many people over the years that volunteer their time to make Hatfield a great place. I started at the University of Massachusetts in 1981 as a licensed electrician. I moved up through the ladder into a controls technician's position, and then shortly after that became a zone supervisor. I was in charge of multi-trades, a group of buildings such as the University Library, and also in addition to that was the refrigeration department and 700 fume hoods. Later on, the building boom started at UMass with a lot of construction. I was asked to become a liaison between the physical plant maintenance group, that's the group that fixes the stuff, and the physical plant facilities group, that's the group that builds the building. We have to figure out how to maintain these buildings and ensure that we could take them. And now at the end of my career, I then got into, I was asked to come back to the physical plant and reorganize our controls division. Our controls division is mostly computerized today, monitoring all the building HVAC systems throughout the campus for the academic buildings and the laboratories. I then moved into a professional position, and I was sort of blessed by having a great group of people that were working for me. I really enjoyed my time, and this year, in 2016, I retired with almost 35 years of service with the university. What I want to compare is I do believe that the selectmen's responsibilities are sort of like some of the responsibilities I've had at work. And those responsibilities were state contracts, unions, employees issues, facilities management, structural, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to bore you. If you want any more, please let me know. But that is one of the reasons I feel I am qualified to run for this position. Now, I have publicly stated I am in support of our seniors. After going to Council of Aging and talking with Jane and Mrs. Zigmont, by the way, you have some great people that are working down there with the Council of Aging. It's been learned that now, once the building has been taken care of, they're going to put the elevator in the kitchen. So what the seniors are asking for is not more space. Where they're losing the kitchen space to the elevator, they just want to move the building inspector to make more room. And the other thing that they're asking for is some access to the back where there's a lot of handicap parking, because people that have disabilities and have a hard time walking with their stretchers need a little bit better access to get into the COA. Now, that sort of sums it up for me. I do want to say to John Novak and Hatfield Cable TV, I do appreciate the fact that you've allowed me to come into everyone's home and share a little bit about me to you, the voters of Hatfield. Again, if I was still working, I do not believe I could do this job, but now being retired, I believe I have the time to do this. To my neighbor up the street, I wish you the best of luck, but I do hope you vote for Ed Jaworski on Tuesday, January 17th, 2017. And in the words of Uncle Heine, it's not town hall we're voting at, it's Memorial Town Hall. Thank you and God bless.
Hello, my name is Stan Pitchko, and I am running for the upcoming vacant selectman seat. For those of you who do not know me, I have lived in town all my life, as well as my family for several generations. I married my high school sweetheart Patty, and together we raised our family in Hatfield. I graduated from Smith Academy in 1977. I went on to serve 4 years in the United States Air Force. I hold a master's degree in business administration from the Eisenberg School of Management in Amherst, and I am also registered with the Inspector General's office in Boston as a Massachusetts Certified Public Procurement Official. I feel my experience and current position make me uniquely qualified to perform this job. For close to 20 years, I have been involved in leading large organizations. I was the director of plant facility for the Northfield Mount Herman School, a senior project manager for a $400 million construction firm doing historical preservation in Washington, D.C. And I was the director of service development for the New England area with United Technologies. Currently, I am a deputy director under the executive director at the Worcester Housing Authority, which is the second largest housing authority in New England. I oversee and lead facility management and planning, which umbrellas the maintenance department and all capital planning with a team of over 100 people. I have been active in our community for many years. In the past, I have served on the school committee for 6 years. Currently, I am in my 3rd term as an assessor. As a select board member, my approach is to serve the residents and community to ensure your voice is heard, just like my commitment on the Board of Assessors. It is important to me that our community be respected while attending to business at the town hall. I have worked very hard on the Board of Assessors to make sure our approach to serving the community was respectful and valued other people's points of view when seeking a resolution. I also, in collaboration with my assessor colleagues, supported and promoted programs to benefit our senior citizens with limited economic means. It is important to me to protect and preserve our history, our culture, and the virtues of our community. I attended junior high at the center school, and it holds very fond memories for me. I am deeply pleased the town was able to find an investor willing to update the gorgeous structure and accommodate our community with a building to be proud of for many years to come. I especially love the cupola on its roof. Third, I plan to provide leadership that will not be afraid to make a decision and act upon it in a timely manner. It's important to safeguard our assets, our possessions, and resources, making sure they are well cared for. Allowing our precious assets to deteriorate or lay idle not only costs taxpayers money, it also poses safety risks for our police and firefighters. If elected, I plan on collaborating with the other elected boards and committees. Solicit your input as often as possible, and by making sure folks in the town hall have the necessary resources to do their jobs, holding them accountable for the work they do. Using my best judgment and sharing my experiences, I plan on working for you. I ask your support on January 17th, so please vote for Stan Pitchko. Thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to seeing you at the polls.
This concludes the candidates' statements. Voting at the polls takes place on January 17th. Please participate in this important event, and thank you for watching.